Now, disclaimer for the YouTube crybabies out there. This channel is mainly about old school horror and practical effects. So my list of the best movie monsters will mainly consist of old school style practical horror monsters, like the ones found in the cheesy 80s movies that I grew up with.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
If it's gonna make you butthurt that I'm not even really considering your favorite CGI monsters, then turn the video off now and tell me in the comments how much of an a-hole I am. You can also leave me a voicemail and let me know your opinion, and I just might use it on an upcoming video. The details are in the description below.
Just some things you gotta do. Don't mean you have to like it.
Now, for the rest of you, here is my list of the best movie monsters of all time. Well, more or less from the 80s, but whatever.
Number 10.
Let's start this list with the Hell Priest of Pain himself, Pinhead from 1987's Hellraiser.
You solved the box. We came.
Now, Clive Barker didn't originally name the character in his novel, but after the success of his debut movie, fans would lovingly name him Pinhead for pretty obvious reasons.
No tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
Number 9.
Who would have thought that the silly-looking fly creature from the original film would terrify audiences nearly 30 years later with its grotesque design? Brundlefly from 1986's The Fly was too gross for me to watch when it came out, but I was blown away years later at the gruesome transformation and the memorable end creature.
Number 8.
I also included Pumpkinhead in my list of underrated movie monsters, but I think it deserves another shout out in this list.
Look, mister, got something chasing us.
The titular character from 1988's Pumpkinhead was created by special effects legend Stan Winston. How could you not include a creature that was created and directed by such a big name in the effects world?
It's dead.
Number 7.
These next creatures are so common that they usually get a category of their own. But in my opinion, the zombies in Return of the Living Dead stand slightly above the rest. The movie doesn't take itself too seriously, and the film and zombie effects have the perfect amount of campiness to get them on this list.
Number 6.
I was never really into the classic Universal horror creatures like Dracula and Frankenstein's monster. But 1987's The Monster Squad was responsible for introducing those classics to me and my generation. The monsters were modernized enough to keep my young self interested without taking away from their classic appearance. An iconic 80s movie full of iconic movie monsters.
Number 5.
The monsters in this next movie may have been directly responsible for my love of the genre.
They're under the goddamn ground.
It was the perfect movie at the perfect time in my childhood to make me fall in love with horror movies and its monsters. The Graboids from 1990's Tremors left a definite mark on me, and judging by how many sequels are still being made, it will continue to entertain kids for a long time.
Stupid son of a bitch. Knocked itself cold.
Called my ass. He's dead.
Number 4.
Now, I remember being terrified of these next monsters after my parents mistakenly took me to the theater to see what they thought was a kids movie.
Oh, nice parent.
The Gremlins from 1984's movie by the same name left a mark on my childhood, and I think it would be difficult to find anyone from my generation that would argue with this movie and these monsters being on this list.
Number 3.
This next monster may have taken on a variety of forms, but each one was as gross and badass as the next.
It's a crock of shit.
The creature from 1982's The Thing could blend in with the humans that it killed, but looked hideous and grotesque between transformations. Rob Bottin ended up in the hospital after the countless hours he put into this movie monster, and we're all grateful because the end product is close to perfect.
Number 2.
A lot of people may argue that this next movie is more sci-fi than horror, but I don't care.
Fucking A. Oh, hold on.
A monster is a monster, no matter the genre of film, and this one is definitely one of the best. The Xenomorph from the Alien franchise has been scaring people for decades, and it is definitely one of the best monsters put on film.
Number 1.
Okay, my favorite creature of all time, and for this list, the absolute best movie monster is the Predator from 1987's Predator.
What the hell are you?
How can you argue with this alien creature? From its huge size to its badass alien technology, and let's not forget those grotesque mandibles. It's a staple in the horror and sci-fi genres that would hunt and kill most of the other monsters on this list just for sport.
You're one ugly motherfucker.
So, did you agree with my list? Let me know in the comments the monsters you think should have made the list. And if you like content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel and sharing with other 80s horror lovers. That'll work, I guess.